Hi, I'm Josh, and this is Vanessa from There Is No Quit. What we're about to do is give you a brief instruction on how to properly do a squat. A squat's kind of the foundation of any really good, effective fitness program, so it's really important that you do it properly. So we're going to go over a lot of common faults, proper range of motion, proper execution, and just describe it to you so that you can achieve that perfect squat technique. So here we go. So like I said, we're going to talk about the proper way to do a squat. First things first, we're going to go over some points of performance to remember when you're performing your squat so you can execute it safely and efficiently. First things first, flat back. You want to have a nice flat back, achieving midline stability. That's your body's ability to keep your spine nice and strong when you're doing your squat so that you don't get your back arching like this and kind of blow your spine up. That's not something you're usually looking for in life. You want to keep the weight in your heels. The reason you want to keep your weight in your heels, number one, it's going to help you stay balanced. Number two, it's going to engage all the strong muscles in your posterior chain, the back of your legs and the back of your body, the stuff you don't really get to work in your everyday life. Full range of motion. Full range of motion is going to be your hip crease below your knees. Basically, you're going to get your butt towards the floor, or as the kids are saying nowadays, dropping it like it's hot. Slightly above room temperature is also acceptable for me. So your knees. Knees are actually a really important part of a squat. You want to keep your knees behind your toes slightly or just over your toes. You do not want your knees going in front of your toes. That's going to put a lot of pressure on your knees and it's probably not going to feel good. So don't do it. Also, you want to initiate the squat with your hips. The movement begins at the hips, not at the knees. So don't try and rush straight down. You're going to kind of send your hips down and back. So I'm going to bring Vanessa in real quick, and she's going to demonstrate, and we're going to discuss all this stuff. So here she is. Here's the bar for squats. So we're going to get this started. So Vanessa's going to go ahead and unrack the bar. She's going to make sure she's centered with the bar, putting it right on top of her shoulder blades there, and she's going to take about 2 steps back. So foot position, her heels are directly underneath her hips or slightly wider than. Toes are pointed out slightly. She's going to initiate movement at the hips, pushing her butt down and back, pushing her knees out to open up her hips. So see how her back is nice and flat? That's midline stability. Her eyes are forward and her core is engaged. So go ahead and come up, pushing through the heels. Good. So that's pretty much a perfectly executed squat. We're going to show you some of the faults now and talk about how to correct them. If one of your problems is your back, if your back is rounding, what you want to do, see how she's got a round back? You want to try and push your chest up towards the ceiling. Bam. See how that flattens out her back? That's what you're going to want to do. So if you ever feel yourself coming forward like that, you want to engage your core and squeeze those muscles in your back to try and push your chest up. Go ahead and stand. If you are initiating at the knees instead of the hips, this is what it's going to look like. Bam. Stop. So her knees are already coming forward in front of her toes. Everything just looks ridiculous right now. That does not look safe. You can probably tell she's not even comfortable demonstrating it. Go ahead and come up. All right. So one last thing, not getting full range of motion. So keep your weight on your heels, go a little lower, bam, right there. So some people consider that to be a squat. That's not really going to do anything to benefit you. It's not going to engage your glutes and your hamstrings, those big, strong muscles in the back of your body. That'll put a lot of pressure on your quads, which in turn will put a lot of pressure on your knees, and it will just kind of make this pointless. You'll see a lot of guys and girls at Globo Gym doing stuff like that, so you want to just stop doing that. It is not good for you. So let's go ahead and see one more perfect squat with no faults. All the way down, all the way up. So that's how you're going to do a squat. Obviously, you're going to want to start with lightweight and then build your way up. But make sure your technique is perfect at lightweight before you move up in weight. A lot of people think it's real cool to throw 225 pounds on a bar just because it looks heavy, and then they're just going and jacking themselves up. So safety is the #1 priority. Remember that. All right, thank you.